girl is called Carlisle Montgomery, and she is a 6'5", red-headed, pigtailed, gap-and buck-toothed, nine-fingered freak, in her own words. She fronts the Live Wires, which is a bluegrass band with a honky-tonk problem they're not trying to fix. And in the words of the late great Paige Wilson, she plays purebred American mongrel music. It is unfortunately, or fortunately, the 1990s in Richmond, Virginia, when the world is divided between grunge and Garth Brooks. A little bit of goth and guar mixed in. And she's playing in a string band, but that's part of her upbringing and background. She tours the country with the Live Wires, but eventually, as our book begins, as our section begins, we're pretty deep into the novel, it is her own, a tour of her own, that she has left her little house in Scott's Addition and her long-suffering / patient creative boyfriend, Chris Carrick, who is a sculptor, and their foundling storm-tossed dog, Bocephus. And it is 1999. Ladies and gentlemen, 1999. It is just about the Y2K. It's New Year's Eve on an Amtrak, or just after, it's New Year's Day on an Amtrak heading west. By the way, she has rebuilt a Rambler American, which she later drives the other way. It's called, this chapter is called The Four Food Groups. An Amtrak conductor who befriended her made arrangements for Carlisle to journey from Chicago to San Francisco. An older, gray-mustached fellow, heavy around the middle, a reminder of Uncle Jimmy's old car clients. He attempted to explain something about prorating a canceled through ticket and holding the expense. She didn't understand how that worked. Carlisle celebrated the turn of the millennium in the cafe car, drinking and singing. The world's odometer turned over and the train didn't derail. And the engineer remained at his post. She woke up in a sleeper cabin, not her own, almost undressed, and between two sloppy, drooling, bristle-cheeked men who first shared interest in her music and then for each other. But she didn't remember some of the finer details. One groan as she lifted a muscled, pale arm and pulled away a skinny, hairy leg. She placed fingertips to balance against the bucking bulkheads to make the wincing walk of discombobulation. She caught her reflection in the window and thought she looked like a wincing mantis. She arrived at her unslept-in berth a few doors down. Due to another train trip struck acquaintance, she performed on a public access show in Berkeley that led to her spending time among Napa Valley Trustafarians, whose overstuffed lifestyles, riddled by cocaine-induced anxiety, befuddled her, left her dry-mouthed and unable to converse about anything of significance. They shared powerful pot, which she liked, and hashish, the last, her first. Carlisle puked out her guts into pushes. One late night at a rest stop somewhere within the Great Smoky Mountains, the by now third version of the cell phone that Chris Carrick is doing there, rang on Lil Rand's console that lifted her from a doze. She leaned across the seats to get a few winks. The tiny ring purred in the car like a mechanical insect. She snatched the thing off the dash, her eyes not focused enough to read the little numbers. This better be good. Stretch! Ballinger! Bill! What the hell? She sat up and crunched spent Slim Jim and potato chip packets. Boyfriend of yours. Gotta talk to him about this. She held up the phone and frowned at the dull glow that meant the world beamed rays over cragged ridges and into this place. Carlisle tried to reach Chris not long ago, but their conversation sounded like a static clogged AM radio. Somehow, Bill Ballinger cut through the mist-shrouded peaks and forests. You sure not hiding behind my car? Listen, Midsummer Music Festival, first weekend of August, Main Street Beer Company. Got low country bluegrass out of South Carolina. They got vaster climates. This college rock party called King Conga out of Mississippi. And those guys from there, you use Carlotta. Yeah, you know him? Alternative country rockabilly, what you call it. Good stuff. Why don't you hear that number? Then there's the Watermelon Festival after that. She pushed her head deeper into the small pillow against the armrest. Bill, I'm on the road. Roads come into Richmond. Why'd I want to come back to stand on asphalt at 1,000,000,000 degrees? Main Street's got tent watermelons inside Plan 9. They got this newfangled machine called air conditioning. Marvelous. Bill, the hottest thing in there will be you. Bill. She rubbed her temple. Come on now. You'll be in there with Terry Garland, Laura Ronnie. Again. This new girl, tiny thing, big voice, all original. Susan Greenbaum from up north. Heard her, but Greenbaum, I think. Carlisle stared at the perforations in Little Ram's ceiling over to march dates and places in her head. August, sparse. A year since she left Chris and Bocephus. 5 months since she and the boy made a decent night of plaster snow. Carlisle rolled into town one rainy March afternoon for Chris, the single person she called or wanted to see. The faulty phone connection left him uncertain about whether she intended to pass through. The same Chris, who the morning after made breakfast and somehow put her back on the road. He asked her to hear that Bonnie Raitt song that got her middle name wrong. She didn't want to. She couldn't remember the words, she said. She didn't want to. I'm the audience, Chris insisted. He rapped his fist against the screen porch door frame. Bocephus yawned and stretched his spotted front legs, then sat. Chris nodded. Me and Bocephus want to hear. Even tuning for the roads, my middle name, filled her eyes. She summoned up steadiness that may have compressed the piece's emotional quality for the purpose of keeping her composure. The difficulty of getting through the song made her think such a brief interlude a mistake. Chris demanded, you come back again, you stay longer than a night and day. She didn't disagree. This near celibacy shit, and the lost charm of the 9 geishas was worse than not smoking. What was that stretch? Bill Ballinger strained to hear in Richmond. Nothing. Listen, Bill, I'll call you later, okay? But we're talking paying gigs, right? Carlisle! I ever get you into anything that didn't put some American money in those jeans of yours? I gotta think about that. Save you trouble. Survey says never. Okay. What's that? Phone fuzz. I'll do the damn thing at the brewery. Amen, sister. But hey, listen up. I want to have some of the live wires and whoever I can round up. Put some American money in their jeans too. I'll see what I can do. Watermelon Festival? She dropped a wrist across her forehead. I'll fly solo. Two beans! Keep them between the H's! Headlights swept across Little Ram. Carlisle propped on her elbows to squint toward the newcomer. Not a trooper, another traveler. She rubbed her eyes and pictured gunning Little Ram through rain and blasting sun, and how on a humid afternoon in front of a parking lot, bubbling with woohooing drunks, she belts weary tunes from the 4 food groups: love, lust, adventure, and regret. Richmond called her home. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.